I'd like to move on to our next speaker, who is Mr. Halil Ordukaya. He has a Bachelor of Secondary Teaching in PDH, and he's minoring in mathematics. Mr. Ordukaya has been teaching maths for over the past 7 years, specializing in standard maths.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah wa alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Honestly, I just want to thank everyone and all the organizers who actually put this event together. I do want to say that, you know, looking at the lineup, I'm not going to say intimidated, but I will say that I'm definitely standing on the giant's sort of shoulders. That's the first thing that kind of came up with, that popped up with me. Okay, all right, so this is going to be a big one, inshallah. I'm going to first start off with the year 10. So all the year 10 students who are currently going into term 4 and are kind of thinking about, look, should I do, you know, standard maths, advanced maths, extension 1, extension 2? This is my sincere advice. Stop looking at it as a very prestigious thing. Don't have that high elitist mentality, especially when it comes to mathematics. It's not like that anymore. I would say maybe before the previous, maybe about like 3 years ago, it was something that was very, I guess, very, very important. And it was a very, I guess, a special, I guess, status when you say to someone, oh, what level of maths are you doing? Oh, I'm doing advanced maths. It was actually very high level, and everybody would actually look at you in a different way. And those looks you would get would actually feel very good. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I did advanced maths myself, but alhamdulillah, I smashed it, but that was because I was capable. But anyways, alhamdulillah. So I don't want you to think of, you know, doing maths as okay, if I don't do advanced maths, everyone is going to look at me as like as if I'm dumb or as if I'm not capable. Absolutely not true. And the reason why that's not true is because ever since the introduction of the new syllabus, alhamdulillah, they've actually put it on the same scale as advanced maths. And I'm going to be talking about this a little bit later on, but good news for everyone who's actually doing 5.2 and have actually thought about doing standard mathematics. If you are thinking of doing standard mathematics and you feel like you will genuinely and actually excel in that, and you feel like, you know what, I don't think I'm cut out for the advanced maths. It's just because I haven't had the opportunities, or I haven't feel like I've pushed myself, or I've gotten lazy, I've kind of held back or got held off when I was, you know, in year 9 and in year 10. That's okay. I'm here to tell you it's absolutely fine. There is nothing, it's not even prestigious anymore. In fact, what it's kind of turned into is that what the NESA is kind of trying to look for is that the people who want to excel and do advanced maths and have genuine passion and interest in it, those are the ones we want to target. We don't just want to get a whole bunch of students doing advanced maths and then flop it at the end of the, you know, at the end of their HSC or whatever, and then affecting the scaling and affecting, you know, the rankings and things like that. So that's why they actually canned it. And they said, look, everybody who's doing standard maths is going to be scaled on a separate, I guess on a separate line, and everyone who's doing advanced maths, extension 1, extension 2, we're going to judge them separately as well. So my genuine advice would be, do not do advanced maths if you've completed 5.2 in year 10. I'm telling you, it's a whole different ballgame. You do not want to be in a, I guess in a situation where you feel like, oh my God, like I have no idea what these guys are doing. And the amount of work and attention that's going to, I guess, be put into 5.3 maths, you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to, I guess, let's say you even excel at the advanced maths, you're going to take a hit on English, you're going to take a hit on biology, on business, all your other subjects are going to take a big hit. So if you haven't already done 5.3 maths in year 10, trust me, don't like, you know, overthink it and be like, oh my God, my mom's going to think I'm dumb. Look, that kind of thing will fade away. Yeah, you really have to be strategic and logical when it comes to your future. Yeah, okay, you know what? You know, I don't know, for example, Hatija Taser's daughter, you know, they were doing advanced math all, and why can't you do advanced math? It's got nothing to do with that anymore. That is absolutely gone. Why is it gone? And this will be a logical explanation, is because now it scales the same. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit later on. So what I want to do now is just kind of move on a little bit. The HSC, what would the HSC be looking like for you if you're in year 10 and thinking about doing standard maths, for example? Yeah. Know this, in year 11, about 25 to 30% of the year 11 course is going to be tested in the HSC. So that leaves you with about 70% roughly that's tested purely on the year 12 content. And when you do year 12, just know that the knowledge is assumed. they're not going to reteach you everything back, what you learned in year 11, and then start off with the year 12. They're going to think you already know it. So what I'm trying to say is that don't think that, okay, if I pick maths, if I end up doing it in year 12, it's okay for me to stuff up in year 11. No, it's actually not. No, it's not. No way. I cannot afford to actually be lazy or be, I guess, you know, what's the word, like has become very complacent when it comes to you know, the HSC. Your HSC actually starts in year 11. So everything you're preparing for, everything you want to do has actually started from year 11. So when you make that choice to do standard maths or advanced maths or extension 1, extension 2, whatever later on down the track, just know that in year 11, it has started. I'm not buffering. I'm not waiting. You know what? Am I going to do this? No, it's already started. That's how serious it actually gets. So now my next point I want to talk about is the students who are in year 11 and about to go into year 12. Yeah. So you guys really need to start having a serious approach. Again, another one of these common stigmas about, you know, standard maths and general maths, what it was called before, is that it's the lower level, it's the easier level of maths. Trust me, it's not. I did advanced maths when I was in, you know, alhamdulillah, when I was in high school, right? And I actually looked at the, I actually looked at the standard and the general maths course. And for me to relearn it and like to put myself in the shoes of a HSC student again, I was like, man, the amount of hours taken to do standard maths and to do general maths or whatever is exactly the same as advanced maths. So I was like, why is it that it's on a, like it's scaled differently? Why does everyone look at general maths or standard maths as something that's like low level and dumb? It's actually not. It's one of the most logical things you can actually apply. In fact, I think the reason why I did advanced maths is because there wasn't that many comprehension questions. It was just like, okay, can you differentiate, integrate? Can you do this? I swear to you, I was just like a robot. The only thing that was different was that instead of Michael, it was, you know, Harry, or if it was, you know, whatever. The numbers were different, but the process was the same. When I actually started learning general maths or standard maths for the first couple of years, when I was first getting introduced and started with it, I was like, man, this is pretty tough. You cannot dumb this down. You need to have a pretty higher like order level, like a higher order of thinking for you to actually do this. So please get rid of that thing that like, okay, if I do standard maths, I'm actually dumb. No, you're not. It's probably one of the most useful useful type of maths that you guys are actually going to take into your after your HSC and beyond. But obviously, I'd love to talk more about how you can apply it and whatever, but I don't have the time for it. Maybe for another session, inshallah. So scales the same as advanced maths. Why not? I'll put a party emoji in there because honestly, like that's it. We're gonna start doing the halal soon because honestly, my community, my mom, you know, my cousins, whatever, it was always about all of them. Why aren't you doing advanced math? Why aren't you doing extension 1? But now there's none of that. So any parents who are actually watching this, honestly, you need to now strategize in what you're going to be telling your kids, because what's it about here is what's actually best for my son. It's got nothing to do with prestige anymore. Yeah. Previously, it was actually better to do advanced maths. I'm not going to lie. It was actually better. It was actually a higher scalar, but not anymore. Yeah. So inshallah, let's get rid of those stigmas. And let's actually, when we are selecting, or if you guys choose to select, you know, standard maths or advanced maths, please take these things into consideration. Inshallah. Okay, now this is the main message exclusively for the year 12s. What to expect in the HSC. Now, I can give you a whole list of questions and, you know, finance and networks and all these little subtopics, but honestly, I think that would absolutely bore you guys. So I said, what advice could I give these kids that would actually like, you know, switch them on? And that's prepare for the worst case scenario. Absolute worst case scenario. You know what that means? If you suck, excuse my language, if you suck at finance, or if you think that, you know what, networks, I don't get the definitions and what's a path and what's a walk and Eulerian and Batikh and whatever, like, get that out of your head. Yes. You need to really like admit to yourself that, okay, this is weak and that I now need to strengthen it. So don't hate it, strengthen it. So if you are really, I guess, falling behind in one particular topic, dude, do everything in your power to get that up to scratch. As I like to say, get that up to standard. Yeah, no pun intended, Miss Ellie, I should like that one. Anyways, so yeah, don't hate it, strengthen it, get it up to standard. And I'm going to give you guys my email at the end if you guys do want to send me any questions on how to do and how to answer this and what the markers are looking for. I'm happy to go with that in detail, like one-on-one personally, if you guys want that as well. So please, what do you want to expect for the HSC? Prepare for the absolute worst case scenario. Pretend that the finance that I have, that I've been doing annuities and I just don't get it or whatever, go back and think about it this way. This is going to be in the HSC. And you know what? It actually is. As a matter of fact, in the 2020 paper, the last question, it was like a 3-marker, I think. It was about annuities, and they did it so perfectly. They combined annuities and they combined compound interest all in the one bundle. That was phenomenal. And you know what's more interesting? Just about the solution, but anyways, I'm now getting more into details of how to solve the question. But like I said, I'll leave my email at the end. So if you guys need like, one-on-one help and whatnot, I'm more than happy to do that, in our own time, inshallah. Okay. So now the study tips and tricks. Now, yes, this is more specific for maths, but honestly, this is actually universal to any other subject I could imagine. But always, please get advice on your respected teachers and see what they say so they can make these minor adjustments. Because again, this might be generic, this might be universal, but you're always best to consult the specialist. Yeah, that would be your best bet to go. So for example, a plan for English. So what am I going to do? I'll go to Miss Elif, for example, or for biochemistry, whatever, I'd go to Miss Zina, or business, I'll go to Miss Reza, for example. Yeah. So your plan. So the first thing is to set a plan. Now, how do you set a plan? The first thing is you have to be absolutely specific with what you're going to cover. Now, when I say be specific, I'm not saying like write out every bit of detail, but I'm just enough to be like, you know what, I know exactly what I'm doing when I come down to sit down. It's not like I do a math paper, I read over notes. That's a bunch of crap. I'm sorry. Like, excuse my language, ICMG, you can blurt this out. But I'm sorry, that's a load of crap for me. What do you mean study notes? What do you mean I'm just going to read over something? How long is that going to last? What, 20 minutes? And then you're going to give up later on? That flopped really quick. That was rubbish. So when I say be specific, I want you to write down, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? What exactly am I going to focus on? Am I going to, liaise with my teacher? Well, like, what am I going to do? It's very, very specific. And inshallah, I'll give you guys an example a little bit later on. The other thing is to be realistic. Yeah, I am not going to do a standard maths HSC paper in 1 hour. It's a 2.5-hour exam. If you add the reading time as well, whatever. So you really have to be realistic. Or if you're going to rewrite your whole biology notes, if you know that that's a weak topic that you have and you really have to spend hours and hours on it, don't be like, oh, just half an hour on your notes. You have to be realistic with yourself. And like what Ms. Elif said and the others said, I think, was just be honest and truthful to yourself. The next thing is managing your time. So how much time? So after you know that, okay, this is realistic, I can do this particular thing, how long do you think it's going to take you? And I'm not saying you have to beat it or you got it or you can go over. I'm not saying anything, but I just want you to actually manage your time. So set a particular timer to it. So if you think that something's going to take half an hour, then you set that half an hour time and you try to work to that. And now guess what happens if you stuff it up? And you're like, oh my God, I was going to do my notes on bio or chemistry or business, whatever, but it ended up taking me an hour and I only put 30 minutes down. What am I going to do now? It's all good. For the next time you're planning, now you know an hour needs to be set aside. So you're learning. You're actually improving on your plan and you're refining it and you're getting better and better and better and better. So what would an example of this look like? I just used, something for standard math students. So for example, I want to complete the 2019 multiple choice section. That's a very specific goal. I want to achieve that. That's what I want to do because I know some students, they'll actually lose interest halfway into the multiple choice. Yeah. Even though there's only 15 questions or so, it doesn't matter. But they'll look at it and be like, okay, yep, I read the question. Yep. Okay. Time to do it. And now guess what happens? They'll actually lose interest and motivation. So now that you've got this as a specific goal, I know exactly what I'm going to achieve. Now the duration is 25 minutes. That's managing my time. I know I better not go over 25 minutes. In fact, for multiple choice, you should actually aim to reduce that all the way up until about 20 minutes or 15 minutes, depending on how much you've practiced. But again, that's managing your time. So 25 minutes have gone. What am I going to do? If you want to take a little break, do whatever you want for 5 minutes, and then go ahead and mark the section and go through your mistakes. Yeah. So now when you are just marking, don't just mindlessly tick and cross. And what I would do is sometimes I know you guys very well. There's questions where you just fluked it. Yeah, I knew this one. It was like a C, then a D, then I knew it was going to be because I haven't done B in a while. That's why I picked B. And then you just move on and you got no idea why the answer is B. That's a big, big problem. So you're not looking for a tick or a cross. That's one part of it. The other part of it is actually knowing, why did I get this correct? Was my working out correct? Did I fluke it? I don't want to fluke it in HSC. Why would I take that risk for? And the ones that you did get wrong, analyze your mistakes. Why did I get it wrong? Was it a silly mistake? Did I round it to 2 decimal places and not 3? Did I do scientific notation? Did I do this? Did I convert the area units correctly? I don't know, whatever. But that would be considered as silly. And again, if you guys want to email me, I can go into more of this. Or is it a content issue? So did I get this question wrong because I forgot what the future value formula was? Or I forgot, the earliest, the float time, for example, was LST minus EST. Did I forget that? That's a content issues. And now all of that going through and marking whatever should take about 30 minutes. Now, let's say it took 40 minutes. All good. For the next time you're planning, now you'll know to put 40 minutes. Trust me, just having these things like laid out, when you actually come and start studying, you will be a machine. You'll be like, okay, I don't have to waste my time and, divert my energy and my brain power to a particular thing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I am super focused. So again, all of this is about and it's actually realistic. Can I sit down for 25 minutes? Yeah, you should be able to. And if you can't, well, you got to start working towards it then. Force yourself. That's really what it is this time around. Anyways, so that's what a realistic goal would look like. There's many other things you could do. Like I said, make sure you guys are in contact with your respected teachers so they can give you, I guess, like a final say in your plan and to say whether it's going to be realistic or not. Yeah. Okay. Now, the next thing is, I know Ms. Elif touched up on this as well. So per night, so what am I looking for example? A maximum of 3 subjects, minimum of 2. Yep, and she did a very nice, breakdown 4 hours for us. So definitely follow that model as well. That's very good. The other thing I wanted to touch up on was never leave one subject untouched longer than 2 days. So for example, if I did maths over here, yeah, check this out. If I did maths over here, right, on Monday, and I spend, 3 hours or whatever it was, perfecting notes, going over details or whatever. And let's say I did it again on Wednesday. Yep. It's okay for me to leave it Thursday, Friday. But if I leave it Thursday, Friday, I better go back to it on a Saturday. And leaving these 2-day gaps tells me that I should actually test myself and actually do a past paper in full exam conditions. No compromise over here. Absolutely no compromise. And now I know you're going to say, sir, but sometimes I've got, my old younger siblings running around, or my mum needs to do this, whatever. Okay, plan it accordingly and I guess have them in the loop. Like, have your parents working with you, yeah, and actually working for you. Yeah, I remember sometimes I don't know why, I think I got fat during the HSC because I had Macca's craving. I was like, Mom, oh man, I just did a HSC paper. Oh, I need that Macca's, please, Mom. My mom straight away hopped in the car, didn't even ask me a second question what I want, and she got me the nuggets. Allah was awesome, whatever. So she knows exactly what I like, right? But you know why? She was on my side. When I, used to wake up and study and do whatever, I also used to get the housework done. You can't ignore that. It was something simple, but still, I used to get that done. She was on my side. My younger sister who wanted to, sometimes, come and tease me or whatever, as younger sisters do, whatever. No. My mom was like, oi, leave him alone. He's studying, he's this, he's that. Yeah. So have your parents on board. Work with them, not against them. Don't be butting heads, especially when there's 5 weeks left. It's not worth it. It's not worth it ever, actually. Yeah, but especially during this time, don't fight about anything. Okay, so when to study? Okay, so this might be a bit of a kind of, I guess, like a controversial because everyone will be different. But honestly, the best time and when to study would be after Fajr prayer. No question about it. And I guess there's nothing I can say has changed my life more than waking up, for Fajr, alhamdulillah, and staying up after. Nothing has changed my life. I cannot tell you the productivity and the energy I have in the 3 hours that I'm awake in the morning compared to me doing work in the afternoon. It does not compare. Those crucial 3 hours that I would do study or whatever the case was, especially in the morning, honestly, amounted to probably about 5 hours of work in the afternoon. It was super productive. And look, you know what? I don't want to say too much on this. Try it out for yourself. Don't take it from me. Oh yeah, Hojam, but you know, you're older, whatever. Okay, thanks guys. But honestly, the fact that you're younger and have that youth, you use that. That's on your side. Wake up early. You shouldn't be waking up and like grudgingly getting out of bed, especially when there's 5 weeks left. Come on, man, you really have to push it. You are not going to be this, like, I guess, striving towards your HSC as much in anything else, especially after. I personally wasn't. When I got into uni, I was chilled. I was like, okay, I got decent marks, I got good marks because I loved what I was doing. Yeah. But there was other people who were in the teaching degree who were just like, man, dude, I just need a pass. I just got to start making the paper, dude. Like, all right, good for you, or whatever. But trust me when I say this, yeah? The barakah in the morning is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Don't take it from me. You just actually have to just try it for yourself. Yeah. And a proof of why it is, yeah. In the hadith, Sakhr ibn Wada' al-Ghamidi radiallahu anhu reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Oh Allah, bless the early morning hours for my ummah." 1400 years ago, our Rasul ﷺ, Habibullah, he made this dua for our ummah. Bless the early morning hours. I know that this dua came true. I felt it. Now you have to go feel it. Actually get up and feel that barakah. I swear to you, nothing will change your life more than this one particular thing. And subhanAllah, this Sahaba was doing a little bit of research. He became wealthy because he was involved in trade. And he's like, and at first he's like, no, why would I get up in the morning? Like, no one's up. Like, he's gonna get up and buy my stuff. But as soon as he applied it, because you know, the Sahabas, when they would hear a hadith or a sunnah, they wouldn't just be like, oh, it's a sunnah, I don't have to do that. No, they will do it because it's a sunnah. Leave the fard, like the fard they do already. But because the Prophet recommended, because it was a sunnah, that's why they did it. What do we do nowadays? Oh, it's a sunnah, bro, just don't worry about it. It's okay, unfortunately. But anyways, and subhanAllah, this Sahabi actually became rich. And he's like, unbelievable. I would never have imagined people walking to my shop in those early morning hours. You won't expect it. But subhanAllah, it's absolutely like a dua come true. It really is. Okay, now conditions of study. You guys are going to hate me for this, but I don't care. No music, no Quran, no nasheed. Do not give me that crap. Oh, Hojam, you know what? I actually, you know, it's not actually the words. I'm not listening to the words. It's actually the beats. The beats get my brain pumping. And you know, there's alpha waves and beta waves and crap waves. Absolutely crap. You know why? Because your brain is now conditioned so hard that it cannot function if it doesn't have that music or that Quran or no nasheed. I'm not saying don't listen to Quran and nasheed. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's a time and place for everything, just not when you're studying. Even if it's a light study, though, don't fall into that trap. The shaitan will get you. Trust me, he'll get you. Oh, it's okay, man. You just light studying today. Today's your light day. You're just reading over some bio notes. Just listen to some nasheed. Oh, yeah, nasheed's just not doing it for you now. You're not getting pumped up. Oh, I really want to get pumped up and, you know, I'm losing motivation. Let me listen to some Drake. Let me listen to Astaghfirullah, whoever else, you know, you guys will listen to. I'm not giving you guys a fatwa. Don't even ask me. I don't know anything in regards to music. I just know I don't listen to it, alhamdulillah. And when it comes to studying and I've got work to do, I don't have any Quran or nasheeds in place because honestly, my brain can only now like function if I have the Quran or the music or the nasheed on. You do not want that. Now, why don't you want that? Yeah. Again, the counter argument could be, oh, Sir Hojam, I actually do well when I've got these beats pumping. Okay, you might. You actually might. But you know what happens when you go into the HSC? I dare you to ask the supervisors, hold on, can I just plug in my headphones and my AirPods so I can listen to my favorite rapper, miss? Can I do that, please, while I'm doing the HSC exam? Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? So the fact that you can't replicate those conditions of or you know, what's the nasheed? Rahman, ya Rahman. Like the fact that you can't condition yourself to those, like the fact that you don't have those conditions, don't do it. Don't get sucked in. Because what will happen, yeah, is that in the HSC, your brain that's trying to focus on something will divert its attention to recreating the music. And now, let's say you've got 100% focus. Now 50% is focusing on recreating the music, and you've only got 50% left that's actually trying to digest the information and do some working out or something. That's the reason why it's not going to work, guys. So if it's going to work now, and you're thinking, I'm telling you right now, you're actually just fooling yourself, 100% fooling yourself. So it's going to be hard, and you'll know what I mean, but you just really have to get rid of it. The other thing is clean study space. Yep. Make sure your desk is clear, and only have what you need. Don't eat or drink. Yeah, it's not the place to eat or drink. Oh, but Hojam, I take my breaks in my room because everyone else, they ask me to do stuff when I get. No, I don't care. Sorry, go eat somewhere else. Yeah, this is a sanctuary of your mind where you actually have to get into that zone where you're like, you know what? Everything I'm doing is for the HSC and for what I want to do in the future. This is why this space is sacred. No one's going to go, like, for example, into a masjid and start singing and dancing. Like, no one does that. It's not the place for it. Yeah, so you just don't do that there. You have a sip of water or whatever, but you don't go having a buffet if it's not Ramadan. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey guys, I just walking with my Macca's bag with the chicken nuggets in there. You don't do that in a masjid, for example. It's just not the time and place for it. So don't do that. Don't eat or drink when you're in your study space. Water's fine. That's okay. The next thing is pair or group study. So 3 maximum. So I came up with this thing. So active learning happens when you're able to teach a peer. So active learning, we're talking about when I'm able to teach someone, while they benefit as a passive learner as well. So for example, if I'm teaching somebody, I don't know, I'm just using financial maths because everyone hates it, right? I don't know why. Something wrong with you guys. Anyways, financial maths, if I understand, for example, future value, or I understand how shares work and dividend yield or whatever, right? If I teach it to someone else and they genuinely get it, then I know that for a fact that I've perfected it. So not only have I benefited someone else, I've also benefited myself. And the hadith that comes to mind is, Rasulullah said, love for your brother what you love for yourself. Yeah, I would love for myself to know this knowledge. So that's why I would go ahead and teach it to my brother and my sister as well. So that's the thought and the thought process behind it. Another thing is hold one another accountable. So when you guys are actually studying in pairs, one of you or some of you guys can just naturally lead and take turns and actually hold the other one accountable. So, hey, look, where's your plan? Show me your plan. Yeah, like imagine, like I used to have like a study buddy when I was doing my HSC. By the way, would you believe it? I never spoke to him after HSC. It was interesting. We're in the same year, we're doing the same subjects, and he would just pick me up from my house, in his, what car did he have? A yellow Integra, because that was the thing back in the days. Yeah, anyways, if you know, you know. He'd pick me up, we'll go eat manouche, up the road from Auburn Library, and then we'll study, whatever. And I swear to you, we always held each other accountable. Hey, bro, why didn't you get this done today? Are you kidding me? Like, was your plan like not up to scratch? Do you need me to teach you something? We would always just really come together, and we would just really be in sync with one another when it comes to our study. So holding another person accountable, again, it gives you that sense of like responsibility over your brother and vice versa. So you guys can actually grow together. Okay. And this is just my email, just my personal email. So anyone who actually wants to ask me any questions specific to mathematics. So I didn't get how to answer this. What are the markers looking forward to, what are markers looking for? How do I maximize marks? What do I do? Anything basically related to standard maths and studying, whatever. You guys are more than happy to email this particular email. And inshallah, no students left behind. That's kind of the mentality I've had this year. No students left behind, inshallah. And that's it for me.